down in the 70th percentile. We gave him extra help. Phys ed program has taken a hit over the years because of budget things. I would hate to see the sports program do that. Now today, if a kid scores just in the 70th percentile of the physical fitness test, he's doing great. The last thing I wanted to speak to is, after I retired, I took a part-time job teaching in a Catholic school, physical education in a Catholic school. And I hear a lot in the community, people talking because they're sending their sons and daughters to a Catholic school. It makes a big difference what we offer. St. Francis offers a great athletic program now, and Immaculata is coming on strong. I believe if we let our sports program fall off, it is going to hurt us in the wrong run. People have choices, and it's out there seeing it. You know, St. Francis is looking pretty good right now, especially when Hamburg doesn't offer a lot. The sports program isn't as good as maybe theirs or whatever. I guess my parting shot here is that I think the sports program is huge to the development of kids and huge to actually help us, maybe even bring in more revenue. If we let it go down the tubes, people are going to go elsewhere. Thank you for your time.
Yes, my name is Paul Kozlowski, 150 Crescent Avenue. I'd like to thank the board for hearing my comments. I'm mainly here to speak for the possibility of the bowling team being cut from the budget, but also to support other sports from not getting cut also. The Booster Club is an excellent idea. Many other schools do a Booster Club specific. The parents of the bowling team do a Booster Club specifically for the bowling team, as it is a low budget item. If cuts are to be made, the bowling team doesn't necessarily need buses to transport them to after school events or matches. Parents could do that with, I'm assuming, the white waivers. This year, the bowling team went undefeated, 10-0 for the school year, and everybody, I mean, I just hear that football never really gets cut that much. All the little sports get cut. Not everybody can be on the football team. Another part that I feel should be cut first is modified sports first, and varsity and JV should be spared. I guess that's about it. I'm just reaching out to save the bowling team because it is a low budget item. The budget most likely could be cut in half for it, and by parents transporting the students to events. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know the criteria for cutting sports was 1, the participation levels, 2, if there's opportunity in the community to do it, and 3, how much it overall costs was, I think, the other factor. And certain sports, like especially I'm thinking hockey and gymnastics, and bowling too, it's just, I was a gymnast that did it with club, and it was $300 a month for me to do gymnastics, for me, plus needs, plus transportation and needs. Hockey, I believe, is the same exact thing. There's not many places to play around here. So, yeah, there's opportunities to do it right here, but by cutting the school, that cuts so many kids out of having the opportunity to do it because not many people can afford it. I mean, our times are hard too, but so are families. So their kids are just going to lose the opportunity to do these sports, and they're never going to know what they could have done.
Sally Stevenson would also like to speak about the budget.
Yes, thank you very much. I have heard about the sports. I have children come to the district their entire life. Two of my kids play Division I sports, got Division I scholarships. Some went on to become national record holders. And sports was very important to them, along with the academics. But I'd like to point out a few things about some of the statistics here in this community. We're approximately 4,000 school district in size. Our Vice President of the United States makes $230,000. Obama makes $400,000. Our governor makes $200,000. Our superintendent makes with fringe benefits over $200,000. So when you say you're taking a pays freeze, you make as much as the governor of the state of New York, we're 4,000 students, I think it's a bit top heavy. A few of the administrators here, Barb is probably underpaid. Some of the others, 176,000 plus fringes, 33% of that 176. Add on to that is an extreme salary for the small school district that's struggling. Another statistic that some of you may not even know, that 1 in 10 of the students in the Hamburg High School will not graduate. We have an 87% graduation rate. Other school districts around us have 97. Eden has 96%. Iroquois has 97. Orchard Park has 96. We're at 87%. You talk about cutting teachers and staff, and you expect that rate to go up, that we have less than 87%, we're going in the wrong direction. I've said before that your salaries are too high. I commend you for taking a pay freeze, but your salaries are way out of whack. The governor has said that these superintendents are making far, far too much money. I contend that there are many ways of cutting this budget, and as you said, the Booster Club, Orchard Park, they raised money to put in a turf. We didn't. We borrowed the money from the state. There are ways that you can save money. I contend that you need to start looking at your salaries. They're far, far too. You're going to cut a little guy that's making $25,000. You're cutting the teachers. You're going in the wrong direction with our kids. You get our kids, and this isn't a transient community. Our kids start here in pre-K, and they graduate from high school. So you drop the ball when they get to high school, and you have 1 in 10, more than 1 in 10 that won't graduate. You got to do something here. You got to do something, make some changes. Thank you.
We have Shane Quinlan, who would like to speak with us next.
Hi, I hope I can do a good job of expressing what a lot of you probably don't want to hear at all, but Hamburg taxpayer for 20 years, employee of the district in maintenance for 17. Both of my children are over at high school, senior, graduating. The cuts in maintenance is something I feel I have to speak on tonight. I feel I have a very high vested interest in this district. I feel that our whole maintenance department has always been asked to do a lot with a little here. I think this goes on not just for a few years, but decades here. I know that this maintenance department was approximately 53 people in the early 80s. 97 renovations came through. They added a whole wing to the high school. They added a whole pre-K wing to the Charlotte Avenue. That's 8 classrooms, kitchen. The whole wing was added to Armour, elementary, 8 classrooms, bathrooms. When our numbers increased that year, around 97, I think we were as high as 59 employees. I think we're back down to 55 right now. I think one of the 6 bargaining units that has actually almost stayed flat, you might say. I know enrollment has gone from 4,200 when I went to school here down to 3,900 or 4,000, pretty flat at 4,000. There's still the same amount of work and maintenance, if not more. I think as our buildings age, they become more difficult to take care of. I have a couple of stories I'd like to share and a couple little facts about things that I see behind the scenes. I think Hamburg has somewhere in the neighborhood of 280 classrooms. To me, that means something different than most. That means there's a univent motor, there's a pneumatic stat, a pneumatic damper, heating valve, probably multiple heating valves. There's in the neighborhood of 400 thermostats in this district. That's like something we should be calibrating every month, every 2 months. Keep energy costs where they're supposed to be. We're lucky we get around to them every couple of years here. Unless there's a problem, then we kind of try to address that immediately. This is a district with like 50 air handlers, over 100 pumps in all 7 buildings that we have. 100 pumps, 3 points of lubrication, needs to be done every year, every 6 months. When I started here, there was probably 120 exhaust fans. It was one of my jobs to go up there and battle the bees, open the covers, grease bearings, change belts, kind of get a feel for which ones need to be done every year faithfully, which ones let the belt ride a few years. 97 renovation added like 30 exhaust fans to our roofs. 8 of them at Armour, 8 of them in Charlotte, a bunch at the high school. 2008 renovation, 2009 renovation added another 30 or so exhaust fans. Our workload as a tiny little maintenance department, 5 guys that typically take care of all this stuff. Somehow Kevin's found a way to kind of always keep us moving forward, getting that stuff done every year. Came here, we had a district of 8 generators. After the 2008, 2009 renovation, now there's 11 generators. There's 30 boilers in this district. There's some very critical things every year that have to be done. Kitchen boilers, and dungeons behind the scenes that nobody ever sees. We're brushing tubes that June, July, August, 3 of our busiest months. It seems like we start gearing up for it. Even May, sometimes you start getting that stuff going. 8 dishwashers to take care of. Multitude of ovens, ranges, convection ovens, garbage disposal, warming boxes, 40 steam tables, the warmers that the kids their food is served on. Every year when we start up in September. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them quit. Right away we got to go over there, try to resolve those issues. Anyone have a sump pump at home they ever had trouble with? We have like 24 sumps in this district. If I just bulk a bunch of things together, even at conservative estimates, 625 motors to take care of in this district. The old ones are the easy ones to keep running. We have motors that have been running since the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, still running in these buildings. The new ones are the ones that are the problem, the maintenance-free ones. Those are the ones that, because you don't do any maintenance, 10 years, 15 years, you're changing that motor. It's actually probably more work to change motors than to just maintain it, but that's how things go. It's very typical of today's society. It's kind of a disposable. I think that's another reason our jobs have become more difficult. I see 2 pools that haven't been drained in almost 2 years. Huge amount of labor that goes into draining that 100,000 gallons, doing all the cleaning, all the repairs that are needed to be done. Usually it works best to alternate. Middle school this year, high school next year. We got 2 of them that are on the same schedule pretty much right now. I see a summer of a lot of work. We used to have incandescent bulbs and T12 fluorescents to change, a few outside mercury vapors. Today we have, because of the renovations, 97, 2008, 2009. Not only do we have T12s, we have T8s, we have T5s. We have an extra almost 100 outside fixtures. Low pressure sodiums, they added tons of them to all the buildings, all the outside fixtures. It seems like I've already been in almost half, with the help of our maintenance department, I've already been in half of those fixtures just since 2008. It's amazing you think that, oh, it's all new stuff. It's really not. It's still maintenance that has to be done. I see that we're on the brink of a $35 million project that they're trying to to squeeze in and get it done in 2 years, that puts a huge strain on all the maintenance staff, cleaners, custodians. It's already started in this district where our groundsmen have been moving stuff out of our crawl spaces. They've been getting ready for the abatement, for the all the behind-the-scenes stuff that's going to happen coming up this summer and through the next 2 years, which it'll never all be done in 2 years, but hopefully most of it will be. I'm sure there'll be more equipment to take care of after these next couple summers. I'd like to tell you one more little story about cleaning too, if I could, real quick. 2008, they cut us 4 hours in this building and 4 hours at the high school. I keep hearing over and over that maintenance really has never been cut. Maintenance actually had 2 laundry people way back when I first started. They found a way to consolidate it here in this building. It's all the kitchen cloths that get used from all 6 buildings. It's all the cleaning staffs, towels, everything they use from all 7 buildings. It's all done here under one person. That person's not even year-round laundry. That summers come around, they have a lot of other duties along with the other cleaners. The last thing about cleaning, one of the jobs last year that was cut in 2011, it was the second 4-hour cut to this building. We also received the second 4-hour cut at the high school. That area was 10 bathrooms. It was 3 boys' labs, 3 girls' labs, 2 women's faculty, 2 men's faculty. That was the entire area. If you just count the pieces of porcelain, you ever been in one of these labs down here? Like 6 urinals, 3 girls' toilets, 3 sinks. Just count up the porcelain. It's like 18 urinals, 22 sinks, 20-some toilets. It's like 60 pieces of porcelain. 4 hours. The person starts here. The woman that we retired out of here last year was in her 70s. I used to go, why did she do this? It was like her sanctuary from home, her little come in early, gets to socialize with the girls before she go to work. I would see her sweating in the afternoon when I was leaving to go home and she's just coming in. I go, 4 hours to clean 60 pieces of porcelain. I go, that's like 4 minutes of fixture. But that's only half of her job. She's still got to mop all the floors. She's still got to fill the toilet paper. She's still got to fill the soaps, pick the towels, empty her garbage, clean the drinking fountains. She's got one area, 206, I think, vacuum the rug in there. So now that's half of her work, cleaning the porcelain. And the other half is the mopping and the garbage and all the other things. I'm going, it's like 2 minutes of fixture. 2 minutes of fixture. I go to the dentist, and the dentist says you should brush your teeth for 2 minutes. I'm thinking, that's not a lot of time. And now that job that was eliminated last year was dumped on 4 other people that cleaned the rest of the building. Well, you take an hour. Well, it was doable. So we didn't gripe it. But now the cuts, 2 cleaners, we're up to what, 2 laborers, we're up to mechanic, grounds crew chief. Way too deep. I hope that the board will recognize what I'm trying to say. I hope that possibility to ask more from the taxpayer, which is another double-sided. Of course, I don't want to see them bump it from 4.5% to 6 or 7, but I think I hope you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. Okay. Thank you.
Information items for the board, meetings, workshops, things like that. You want to have another chance to share with us something from the school?
Levels? Yeah, sure. The cafeteria got done and it's painted and it looks really good. Not to toot my own horn, but it looks really, really good. allowed is getting done professionally, and that's gonna happen in 16 and 17, because we have a long weekend. So that's getting done. Then, we have a food drive competition with Frontier, and that starts the 25th, I believe. We have a golf for bucks. We're bringing in a speaker, the 19th, and he's gonna speak to the middle school. He's gonna speak to the high school. He's gonna have a luncheon with street leaders. He's gonna talk to the staff as well. And that's all funded by state government. And then the shaving for adults for bucks is gonna be the 29th. That week we have a pep rally, and then obviously Thursday the shaving, and then Friday we have a dance. We are working with Dr. Jetter and to get a promotional video of our high school, or actually of our whole district, in place to make people want to come here. And the spring sports are along the way.
Members of the board, yes. I went to the business safety drugs meeting last week at the hub. Very, very good, very interesting, very educational. Just very scary. The big focus was on K2 spice, the new manufactured marijuana equivalent that does not show up on top screens. So it's the ideal drug for people who want to be using something and not getting it show up on top screens. And it's terribly, terribly dangerous, much more so than marijuana. So it's scary to think that there's a drug out there that looks like herb that our kids have access to at fast food stores, things like that. A lot of areas around have a huge amount of this drug for sale. So watch out, because it's something in case you are worried that your kids are taking something that's very, very difficult. Kids are having people using it, hallucinations, seizures, psychosis. You think you're getting a high, but it's a very, very dangerous drug. So it wasn't just focusing on prescription drugs, it's also discussed, but also particularly this particular topic. Steve, do you have other things in this category that you want to share with us? Meetings coming up, Tuesday, March 20th at 6:30 in the administration building is a budget work session. Tuesday, April 3rd, another budget work session. Tuesday, April 17th is the budget adoption. We need to be getting a lot figured out between now and then. You have meetings that you're going to be doing between now and then in the community, is that correct?
This Friday, in the chamber, and other meetings are being scheduled as well.
Moving on for that, shall we go to consensus items? Consensus items, the first two consensus items are basically the approval of the minutes from the last series of meetings. I have a recommended motion that approval is given to all consensus items under section G. Actually, let me go on from there. Should we do G1 first, the approval of minutes? How about we do that?
If you want to take this whole, you should outline what you're approving, just read what you're approving.
Well, the first G1 are the minutes, I'm sorry. G2 are recommended motions, this is in terms of personnel changes, it's personnel retirements, unpaid internship, interscholastic years of service, some changes in status, unpaid coaching positions, that sort of thing. In G3, in the business section, we do have a donation of some pieces of musical equipment that we're going to be donating to our music department. A blue van that we're going to surplus. Refuse reflection. And then include this, we also have field trips, special education, and an appointment for the parent member of the special education. Those are all the consensus items. A motion to approve all consensus items. Such a motion. A second of the motion.
I just wanted to pull something out on the March 6th.
Sure. Let's have a second on the motion, and then we can discuss it. Want to do a second one? Okay, do you have something that you want to be?
Oh, yeah, just the March 6th budget work session. I just need members absent. We're approving the minutes.
Yeah.
It states I was absent, I was present at the meeting, so if you could just change that to the March 6th.
No, you were late. The meeting at the same time when the meeting was called to order, you were absent. So you entered the meeting.
Is it documented? It's
It's
documented down in your
documented,
Documented right after that. That's what
Yes.
I thought. Right after that.
So when the
second
meeting
time
was
you actually
called,
had it.
you were absent then.
37, okay.
I Ally, will I end the meeting at 6:37 PM?
Okay. Are there other ones? Okay, shall we vote on that? All in favor of approval of those? Opposed? Opposed? No? Okay, moving on.
I apologize, and I just wanted to ask the board under the agenda to remove that from the agenda, so I'm not following through that recommendation, so if we can remove page 1. Appreciate that.
In the action items, we therefore do not have each one. We do have the retirement incentive. Should we go through these individually, or?
Yes.
Let's go through these individually. So that with H one removed, H2, I recommended motion that the Board of Education of the Hamburg Central School District approve the retirement incentive memorandum of agreement between the district and the HTA. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Excuse me, yes, go ahead, Steve.
Just a comment on this. This was the retirement incentive that we had on the table that required a participation of 15. We've lowered that to require participation of 11. At this point, in what you acted on in the personnel agenda was 12 teacher retirements, 12 retirements from the HTA. The window period has been expanded, so we can still accept retirements from HTA members up until March 30th.
Steve, does that back to that, what Barb, what you showed, did that include the 12?
It included 12, and if we have more, then adjustments will be made.
And the motion on that, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Our next recommended motion is that the Board of Education of the Hamburg Central School District approve the Article 7 Facilitative Memorandum of Agreement between the district and the HTA. Have such a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? We then have the treasurer's report. The treasurer's report, recommended motion that the treasurer's report of the January 2012 be approved. Motion. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and then we have a recommendation to the board that the grievance regarding Article 14, Section 1 of the HTA be denied. Such a motion?
Motion.
A second? All in favor? Opposed? I believe that's all the business that we have for tonight. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you very much, folks, for joining us.
Your mom is whining at the camera here and asking to say hi to you.
Am I get a camera in my outfit? No. I was just coming to see.
Your mama praised you and everybody. It was good though. I gave her a high five. Graduation rate is lower than most students around here, so it was good. We said a couple of things. Yeah. Here's your mom. Nice talking to you. This one yours?